Hello to all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I'm Davina, and today I wanted to share with you your needs are valid. Your needs are worthy of being met. And this is something our narcissistic, I'm furious right now, so I'm going to show a little fury. That's okay. Your narcissistic parents robbed you of this very basic thing in childhood. And that has set you up probably for repeatedly feeling this sense of my needs aren't being met, my needs aren't being met. This friend is doing this, or this my boss is doing this, and my spouse is doing this, um, and it can be so confusing because we are so used to feeling that it's us, that it's our fault, that we're shameful, that we're somehow, fundamentally flawed. And that's why our needs are not being met. And I can go for like days and months, I think, in just shame and the shame freeze and just being frozen in that kind of like, it's horrible. And when I start to feel angry, I know I'm sort of like breaking through this, like it's not me, Um, yeah, you had every right to, hey, you had reasonable needs in your childhood, to have a parent who would, hold you and comfort you when you're crying and say, I'm here for you and you're safe. And, um, you know, it seems like you're feeling really sad right now. You're really sad. I'm here. And, you deserve this. This is not some weird, like far out thing. This is a reasonable human need. Um, or just to have a need to be listened to be heard. The narcissistic parents don't listen. They don't care. They just want to talk at you. They don't. Yeah, it's infuriating. And then, of course, the child is going to be like, well, it must be me. And maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe I'm not being assertive enough, and we take on that blame. We take on their shit, and I'm tired of taking on my parents' shit. They were incapable of, listening, comforting me. They were incapable of even having a real conversation where people, it's back and forth, Um, they were incapable of so many things, so many basic things that a parent needs to do in order for their child to have a healthy development. Um, and I just grew up in terror, and that's all I experience on a daily basis is terror and more terror. Because that's how Donna felt, my inner child. Me, right? I felt terror in my childhood because my parents were terrorizing me. And I feel like I should get out my master list. Maybe that'll be my next video, my master list of like narcissistic phrases. I'm sure I've done this before, but it's, yeah, I realize more and more, like, how much my mother was just dismiss, invalidate, ignore, and she did it with a smile on her face. That was probably the worst thing. And she seems caring, and yet the words that are coming out of her mouth are like, I don't give a shit, you're a wimp. That's the kind of implication that she was giving me, that because I had a feeling that I was wimpy and weak, and that I should just, sort of suck it up and whatever, move on, or, and this is, I'm sure, everything that I got when I was a child, just like, children cry a lot, a lot, daily, multiple times a day. They cry over anything that they're upset about. It's the only way that they can express themselves. And if a parent is not capable of responding in a mature and an emotionally mature way like, I see that you're sad. I see that you're feeling angry about this. I think you're angry because this happened. Is that why you're angry? And validating that it's understandable that you feel that way. This is a healthy, mature way of responding to a child. And if a parent can't do this, it's all about the child. It's all their fault. You're being unreasonable. You're being a troublemaker. You're being annoying. And yeah, it's despicable. It is absolutely despicable what your parents did to you. Despicable. And they did that, like just like tiny daggers every day, until you're worn down into like a hollow shell of a person because you don't even know who you are or what you feel, and you're in just constant second guessing yourself. I wrote down yesterday, and it kind of came alive to me. Like, I was constantly thinking about what my parents were thinking of me. I was constantly aware of my behaviors, and I was constantly modifying, altering myself so that I would be what I thought would be acceptable to them. And I knew what wasn't acceptable to them. And so I needed to like sort of change myself, don't be too expressive and don't cry, and, don't ask questions. Narcissists aren't open, they're not receptive. Parents, they just, shut you down. And yeah, your needs were completely just normal and valid for a child to want someone to connect to have someone to listen to have someone who's going to praise them and encourage them and say, wow, I see that you're putting that block on top of the other block. Look at that, or, just like observing with delight. That's what parents are supposed to give their children. Their children are supposed to be like a precious, precious gift that, that they brought into the world. Showering them with their just, I delight in your beingness, not this performance-based shit that that your parents gave you, that you had to like measure up or do it right or be a certain way, or you should be like this or do it like that, and that's what makes you acceptable. No, right? And yeah, I'm just feeling infuriated right now, and I wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you can relate. I've been going through a job hunt right now again because I work as a nanny, and it sucks that I have to change jobs this often, but just realizing that this is what's so triggering for me, is that like I'm, putting out there, I put out my boundaries. This is what I want in a job. And I know all the details about like what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And it doesn't come and it doesn't come. And I'm just getting so mad, so fed up with my needs not being met, It is infuriating, and I'm so tired of it. And God, I hope you're not experiencing this in your life, because it really, really massively sucks. It's massively painful. And the other massively sucky thing is that we have to re-experience it and be triggered and be like, wow, I'm so grateful for this trigger. No, I'm not. This trigger is, yeah, it sucks. Even if things end up working out, I have to go through all this crap. It is beyond maddening. And yeah, I just wanted to express how freaking angry I am that my parents set me up for this lifetime of crap, and I hope it gets better. I do feel like overall I can see the improvements and everything, and I kind of remind myself of that. But when I'm in a flashback, just let it rip. Let it rip. If you're in a flashback, let it go. Don't hold back. Your inner child has every right to feel infuriated, absolutely infuriated at what happened to her. It was horrendous. Your parents should be locked up. They should be shot in the head. You know, narcissists are evil people. I don't think my parents really deserve to be shot in the head, by the way. But, Donna, this is what Donna feels like. She is infuriated, murderous rage, if she could have pounded her parents with a frying pan, she probably would have. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to say to you today, that your needs are valid and reasonable, and you are absolutely worthy of having those needs met in this world. You belong here. And yeah, I really hope that in your relationships, in your job, in all your situations, that you are getting closer and closer to getting those needs met. And yeah, you're absolutely deserving of that. And I am wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.